Ooh. That's cool. You're going to want to save that one.
You gotta have that one. Twain.
Did that come with that table?
Yeah. Twain. I saw a band called Twain and I bought all their cassettes.
Any relation to Shania or Mark?
No, I don't think. I think neither. What is this? I used to keep my American Spirits in here.
And that, is that a metal casing?
It's a metal cigarette.
Oh, that's nice.
Guys, welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start, like we do every week, by shouting out Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois. CATTYSHACKIL.org. Save a life. Or 9. They also have a little side fundraiser they're doing for one of their full-time live-in cats who has a respiratory condition and needs to see a specialist. So Caddyshack money does not ever go directly to any of their full-time permanent cats. So if you want to throw them a little something on the side, they'll appreciate that. We had a crazy couple of weeks here on the compound, and dozens of you reached out in support of one of my dogs was in the hospital for 7 days, and that's a very expensive prospect, and it was really her only chance at survival, which didn't end up being the case, and it's been a real tragedy. However, the support and stuff makes it all so much easier. People have been so generous and kind and helpful, and Lucius included. Lucius made me some chili, and I ate every drop of it over the course of like 3 days.
Nothing better than comfort food, baby.
And were those homemade cornbread muffins?
More or less. I mean, yeah, they weren't store-bought. Kayla definitely made them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But not from scratchy scratch. Or
yeah, not from scratchy scratch.
But they were just sweet enough and the perfect size. Yeah. And I could have just had those and felt better. Yeah. And then Trader Joe's has a cookies and cream little
cake,
miniature
like little
sheet cake.
Yeah.
Honey.
Actually, they have a gluten-free option that we tasted from another friend's birthday that is also delicious and surpringly moist. Very good.
Especially considering it's gluten-free. The gluten-free pastries have come a long way.
They really have. And
my wife and I stood with one spoon between us in front of that cake and just went back and forth.
That makes me so fucking happy.
It's, it was the bonding experience I think we needed. And I love that Daisy sour cream in a bag, the squeezy bag.
Yeah.
If something about it, I feel like it tastes better.
She doesn't buy that for us. She specifically wanted you guys to have that convenience. So shout out to Kayla for the squeeze.
I beat it up. I heated the chili up, and then I put the shredded cheese on. And I think you got us the farm style shreds, which are the bigger shreds they do now, which are nice, especially for something like that. And then just around the top, like how you see them do the piping for shepherd's pie or something.
Yeah.
But it's fucking dollop.
Are you guys a Frito dunker? Because we gave you guys some like those Frito Scoopy chips.
What I like to do with those is I crunch them up over the top.
Yes, that's great.
Because they don't get soggy.
Yes.
And so
it's a great crunch.
It's a great crunch because I ate all the oyster crackers in the first half of the chili.
Yeah.
Because the baby also likes oyster crackers, so she had a few of those. And then when I went for the last round of the chili, I had the Frito scoops. And those are always a welcome addition.
Yeah.
So it was exactly what and I certainly didn't feel like cooking or anything of that nature. So
yeah, I love you guys, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Well, thank you. It made all the difference. The audio may be out tonight, so I'm going to mention this, but you probably won't hear about this in time. I'm playing at the Heavy Anchor tonight with Blinded by Stereo, and a great way to mention that is also if you miss it, because you probably will miss this announcement because of how close it's going to come out. That also that's the kind of thing you could see a lot of my live shows on the patreon.com/JacobV. We make extra content for members who want to support the show financially, and there's I don't like to give away myself performing all the time for free because I perform enough that sometimes I get paid, and so if you could see me for hours for free, doesn't make any sense. But if you want to support this show, patreon.com/JacobV, you get to see a lot of that stuff, even if you don't know it's happening. So that's always a lot of fun. I'll probably use this same camera this evening. And I got to get some more of these. The price just went down on the third version. So
must be coming out with the fourth? Or is it just like
yeah, but the third is nice.
Yeah. Third's great.
But
You know, they're just trying to one up themselves every year.
You gotta,
You know?
or every couple or whatever,
Yeah.
and whatnot. So, Kits Row just participated in a thing called Secret Admirer that a couple people do locally here, where you get the name of a band and you have to cover one of their songs and record it and send it back, and then somebody in the list is going to cover one of your songs, but it's a secret until it's out.
That's so awesome.
So Kits Row has a song called Cabo that's very popular amongst Kits Row people that know about them. And another band covered that song, and their version sounds like the Pet Shop Boys. It's very entertaining. And then we did a song by a band called Night Sprites that we produced a cover of.
Cool.
And I think I did a keyboard solo,
Nice.
which is always great. And those are all out. Secret Admirer. I think they're having a little thing at the Sinkhole tonight. But everyone did one song, so it's weird to do a whole show about that. But they're all in Bandcamp now. Secret Admirer. I forget the rest of it. But that's really cool. No Antics has new music kind of on a schedule all the time. I haven't been playing with them since we had the baby really very much at all. But they're still great. They're still awesome. Molly's birthday party set that me and some of the guys did is on the Patreon. That's the kind of thing you get there. We have so much we got to get to today. I don't even know where to start. I mean,
we can say that we can start with Hillary Duff's going to be on tour.
Hillary Duff is coming to St. Louis. That hasn't happened maybe ever, and if so, it's been a long time.
Yeah, with LaRue, which
with
is
LaRue,
also
who we love, friend of the show. LaRue. And a lot of action on the clips about the new Hillary Duff
If you want to
single.
support us to go to that show, we will stream our time there.
Yeah,
Or at
I'll
least
go live on Patreon.
We'll go live on Patreon.
It's one button.
Yeah. And so if you want to support us in that endeavor.
Yeah, so patreon.com/Jacob V. I'll live stream it if we raise enough money to go to the show.
Yeah.
And then I'll buy your ticket because it'll be a write-off.
Yeah, exactly. Business expense.
I got to write it off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm probably going to prison for taxes. I haven't done mine this year yet.
What? That's of course you haven't. Nobody has. I'm just now.
Back in the
starting
day
as
when
well.
you're broke and you're getting a tax return and you only have one W-2, you do them right away.
But if you were saying I'm working, I still got to do 2020's tax, and then I'm like, okay,
2020.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like you said, you're going to go to jail for not doing your taxes, but it's literally, it's fine. The deadline hasn't even passed yet. But if you're like, man, I haven't done my taxes and I've been defrauding.
Yeah, if I get singled
myself,
out by
then-
somebody from the IRS, I'm going to put their name through the search in the Epstein files.
Yeah. You know, when it comes to like business expenses and stuff like that, it is crazy going into it and knowing all the things that you can write off. Because I feel like I'm going into it with an overview of like, I want to treat this with as much respect as possible, so that I don't want the IRS coming after me. I don't need that tax.
Yeah, but then you realize some people write off every possible thing they can.
Totally.
And then some, and it's a big money,
I'm like, you can do
money
that?
laundering
That's sick.
scheme.
But that's when it goes too deep. Maybe that's why Martha Stewart, spent that time in jail. I don't know. But it's like, that's what they'll get you, is like tax evasion. Or
I don't think that was tax evasion, though.
I'm sure it wasn't. I have no idea.
Hers was insider trading.
Oh, was it really?
Which is also funny because we know Congress does all the insider trading now.
Yeah.
And that's what they said to her. They said, Martha, that's our shit.
That you don't understand. That's what we do. We have the corner on that. We have the corner market of
Hi,
that.
Martha Stewart, please. This is Nancy Pelosi.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Hi, Martha, it's Nancy. Get off my turf, bitch.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's a real East Coast, West Coast battle.
Uh-huh.
Nancy Pelosi versus
Martha Stewart.
Queen of the Hamptons, Martha Stewart, who I think only eats wheatgrass and seafood. All of her Super Bowl recipes were seafood. She was like, you could do oysters Rockefeller, you could do a crab. I'm like, Martha, there's food on land.
Yeah, I'm more of an Ina Garden.
They both live in the Hamptons. I do love
but they're
Ina.
they're two different styles.
I feel like Ina's husband is like like a
Jeffrey.
demon. Like he's got to be like a.
But he's so
Isn't
smiley and like cuddly and like a
No,
teddy
he
bear.
seems sweet, but his job and his wealth has to be from demonology.
Sure.
Like it has to be like drone striking Pakistani weddings.
You
or
think
something.
so?
I don't remember. I feel like he's either. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I love Ina's spirit. I love that she teaches like cooking in a way that's like, this is how I do it. Yours is just fine. You should make your own chicken broth, but store bought is just fine. But
Yeah,
like she does it like she enjoys quality, but
yeah.
she's not gonna like put you down for not being able to produce the same quality.
It does make you want that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Like I could eat a $30 salami or something. Like I could really get into. Martha Stewart likes caviar. Is one of the things she said for the Super Bowl. I said caviar at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, for Valentine's Day tomorrow, McDonald's is selling caviar with chicken McNuggets.
No.
Yeah, they started with a pre-order kit online that sold out in like 3 minutes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you actually being serious right now?
I'm a dead ass, brother. On God.
McDonald's for Mardi
is
Gras.
doing no Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Did I say Mardi Gras?
No.
You just thought Mardi Gras?
Yeah, I've been thinking about Mardi Gras all week because I work in Soulard now, and so it's like it's there.
You got to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like working.
I haven't thought about Mardi Gras in a while. I haven't been to actual Mardi Gras in like 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, we went when we were still drinking. We got tickets for a tent, but where we got dropped off without crossing the actual parade line, which we could have done, we didn't feel like we could get to it before the parade.
Yeah.
So we had tickets for like all you could drink in the fucking 105.7 The Point tent.
Yeah.
But couldn't get there.
Like personal bathrooms too.
Yeah, nice bathrooms.
See, that's
wristbands.
When I went 10 years ago, I think I didn't run into much of like a bathroom issue because I had older friends that lived there or whatever. But when I went in my 20s, like early 20s, it was like, man, I have to be hammered in order to enjoy this.
Well, and I remember like not being able to do it sober because a lot of years it's way too cold.
Yeah, which I don't mind. But it's just being around all the people and
like you're from Cave Springs, so you may not feel the same way about this, but I definitely feel a sense of pride and enthusiasm about St. Louis Mardi Gras because it's so big.
No, that is the allure.
Normal cities.
This is when I was in high school, which I went to high school.
Normal cities don't even have much of a Mardi Gras thing.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of an old-timey, kind of Catholic-y kind of holiday.
Yeah.
And places like Boston.
It is, yeah.
Places like New Orleans and Boston and St. Louis, where you have large generational faith-based communities, those traditions kind of become a part of the public experience, even for people that aren't religious in that way.
Yeah.
And Mardi Gras here is definitely one of those things. We also, way before everybody had multiple pride parades every year, we used to have the best pride parade that I went to as a kid. It used to be on South Grand. I used to go. I used to.
Yes, that was the
for years.
My favorite.
And that was like the Mardi Gras thing. It was just like, listen, we're not traveling to other cities to go to parades. If we want a good parade, we're going to have a good parade.
We have a goddamn good parade.
Oh, speaking of good parades, when the Rams won the Super Bowl the first time, there was a giant like parade downtown.
Yeah. Same with the Blues when they won the Stanley Cup. That was sick.
The Stanley Cup thing, I had tickets with my aunt and my uncle to go watch the final game, Game 7, in Busch Stadium.
Oh, sick.
On the big Jumbotron thing. So there's thousands of people in Busch Stadium. The game is on the big TV, but we're all there to watch it together and it's fun. But it was Game 7. Which means it's either take home the cup or take home nothing and look stupid.
Sure.
And people are drunk. And at one point, it's like tied up in Game 7 that year. Well, I don't remember what year that was. It was pre-COVID.
2018.
Maybe 18 was what I was going to say. And that feels like 100 years ago. And so I started to get worried.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wait a goddamn minute. The team's not here. So A-list security is not here. If we lose this in Game 7 after having it tied up in the second period, what's going to happen to me and my body in this stadium full of drunk, angry people? Luckily, we pulled it through. They still flipped over a golf cart out front.
Well, of course. I mean, they're celebrating. I mean, it's like, okay, you're going to
But
be
it would have been a dump truck had we lost.
Yeah, because I feel like it was somewhere in like Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, like they flipped like buses or something, like it was,
yeah.
It's just what we had available, and it's golf carts. It's golf carts.
That day it was golf carts.
Yeah, it was golf carts, and but what a time to be alive.
Yeah, Christ is king, and when he comes back, he's going to be riding a donkey.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because the king rides a donkey to signal to his people that we are in a time of peace. I don't have to rush into or away from battle because I rule so effectively that we are entering a time of peace.
Wow.
That's what that symbolizes. That's why Jesus rode in on a donkey. I think it was Palm Sunday.
That's I was trying to place when
I think that's Palm Sunday. Now, is that after the resurrection?
Laying down. No, it's before.
It is before.
Yeah.
Is it the week before?
It's the week. Yeah, it's a Sunday before Easter.
The crucifixion.
Yes, because the crucifixion's on Friday.
On what they call Good Friday.
Good Friday, and then there's Holy Saturday.
Yeah.
And then there's Easter Sunday. He is risen.
He rises on, but
he rises on.
So when's he ride the donkey? So
Palm
Sunday is a week before.
Yes.
Palm Sunday is the week before
Easter.
Yes.
I remember that so vividly because of Good Friday, because we'd have to do Stations of the Cross at school every week, and it was the most boring thing because you'd have to kneel for most. That's what it was. You were like kneeling for a majority of it.
Yeah, it's the kickoff to Holy Week.
Yeah,
leading to Good Friday's crucifixion and concluding with the resurrection.
So was he being mocked on on Palm Sunday when he was coming in?
No, he makes a triumphant entry into Jerusalem, initiating Holy Week. He storms in and he says, "It's Holy Week."
Yeah,
and
today's the day.
No, today's not Palm Sunday.
No, I'm going with you.
But that's
what
he was saying. He was saying
this
is Palm Sunday now.
Yeah,
and now we're going to call this Holy Week.
And on Friday, you guys are going to turn against me,
and it's going to be whack as fuck. But but just watch till the end, bitch.
You just wait.
Celebrates Jesus entering Jerusalem, welcomed by crowds, waving branches and laying down cloaks. Symbolism represents both the acknowledgement of Jesus as king and the beginning of his journey to the cross. That's what doesn't make sense to me.
Beginning his journey to the cross?
Because we know it begins his journey to the cross, but the happy people... But that's...
Well, see,
but you're right, it is a transformation.
Because he knew that Judas was going to betray him.
Yeah.
He knew that. And so he's like... He's laying down, okay, here's the timeline, y'all. Here's what's going to happen. And then it did. And then that's how all of the people believed in Jesus, because like, holy shit, this dude was right the whole time.
Okay, so this is a part of it, creating a paradoxical connection between the joyful celebratory entry into Jerusalem and the ultimate somber sacrifice of Good Friday, which finds its resolution in the triumph of Easter. So it's, oh God. So
remember, and remember, we talked about this. I fainted in the Passion of the Christ. Right. Passion of the Cross. It's like, what is that?
Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ.
You got sick.
I fainted.
Yeah, and so then you had to go to the chapel.
I had to go to the chapel, and we had to spend some time praying over it. So,
but did you just try to explain to them that it was just really violent and hard to watch?
I don't think so.
Okay, you should have said that.
I feel like...
But you aren't... That's not ever been your strong suit.
Because
you could have spoken that effectively about your needs at that age, that kind of shit wouldn't have happened.
I mean, I think that it still would have.
No. You would have been able to communicate.
I don't know. I don't know.
You wouldn't be in the dark and so overwhelmed by the environment.
If I was like, no, guys, it's fine. That was crazy.
You should have just said, guys, listen, I'm not possessed. Mother and father.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Nothing is wrong, except for that was crazy to put all that shit on camera and show your whole family.
I don't know. I just felt sick. I was just trying not to throw up. You know what I mean?
You know, I was a little too old to get scared of and have to leave Jurassic Park 3 with my aunt. I was a child. I mean, I didn't have a beard yet.
Yeah.
But that also happened.
Yeah.
And so I understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in a movie
It was
theater,
weird that we like
and who
pulled up
knows
at the
what
chapel.
Your
I was
blood
like,
sugar is
okay.
doing. Did you have popcorn?
Probably, yeah.
Butter?
We're like an icy popcorn.
You think you also had an icy?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I bet
sure.
your blood sugar. Well, how late into the film is this? What do you call it?
Discouraging.
Discouraging.
I would say it's probably 60 to 70% through.
You were crashing off that icy, gang.
Yeah.
You had peaked your blood sugar out,
Yeah.
but it was all.
So we went to Fazoli's.
But there was no protein, and so your blood sugar then 70 minutes later crashes, and you get this crazy gore on the screen of Jim Caviezel.
Yeah.
And-
oh God, it's so graphic.
You don't think about that. Don't think about that. Think about the sequel, because we're getting it.
Yeah.
Passion of the Christ 2, The Resurrection of the Christ.
Yeah. So, that's coming up. That's coming up.
That's coming up.
What is
Look
that,
for
40
that.
days?
You know who's not in the Epstein files?
Jesus.
Mel Gibson.
Oh. That's surprising.
It's not.
I don't know.
It's actually not.
Okay. That's good.
We got to jump into some of that just to knock it out, because it's what's going on this week. So, since last time we recorded the show, the DOJ has released an additional 3 million files from the Epstein files, which we are told is 6 million files. So it's illegal that we don't have them all yet. Also, we are seeing many more examples of their unnecessary redactions. The law that the president signed into law, which means he could have stopped this, and he didn't. The law said by a certain date we had to have all of the files, and we only wanted victims' identities redacted. However, we see entire documents redacted. We also see instances of the victims having photographs of themselves unredacted published, their full names, witnesses and victims who had never come publicly before. They had been named as Jane Does in the lawsuits or whatever. Now their names and stuff are all out there. And so if something they said is in the files that implicates somebody whose name is redacted illegally, but redacted anyway, these women could get killed. It's absolutely crazy. So there's been a fight this week. This is the up-to-date stuff on it. A few Congress people were allowed access to the unredacted files. They had to go into a SCIF at DOJ, and they could, in an enclosed computer system, see more of the files. And so they saw a lot of crazy shit that they didn't want to see.
Yeah.
But they also saw a lot of stuff even there is redacted. So they're in a bulletproof building that you can't put a phone in. But there's still stuff redacted. And the DOJ is saying that's because they received redacted documents from the FBI. But it's all supposed to be unredacted. The FBI reports to the DOJ. So the reason Trump didn't put up a fight signing this into law is because he knew all this stuff had been, so much of it had been scrubbed. They haven't scrubbed everything. There's more coming out every day.
Yeah.
But the Congress people are the most upset because they also had Pam Bondi in a hearing, I believe, yesterday. It was a nightmare.
A nightmare. An absolute nightmare.
Did you see
You don't say that to me.
The Dow is above 50,000.
Can't we talk about that?
You don't say that.
And you want to talk about people touching children? No.
You didn't ask Merrick Garland. So
the Dow is over 50,000, okay?
So they planned on multiple layers of sabotage in this problem because they know the DOJ is not going to charge anybody for the crimes of disobeying this new law because they're the ones in violation. And we see how it goes whenever judges try to oppose this kind of behavior. So it was only signed into law to try to get everybody to shut up about it. And luckily, people in Congress are being allowed to still fight for more and more evidence from the files. But in the meantime, it's worse than people thought it was going to be a lot of the time. Elon has been implicated. He said some crazy shit he wants to go to the wildest island party he had available. And then we figure out later, it turns out Elon was kind of uninvited. They're kind of like,
hilarious.
He was left on red several times. He just wasn't, quite it. Bill Gates wanted antibiotics to secretly feed to his wife because Bill Gates got an STD from a Russian prostitute.
Oh my God.
Via Epstein.
Yeah.
And his wife has been out. His ex-wife now has been out.
And I was thinking about this when all this was coming out and stuff, that when we had our Epstein episode and we talked about the game is blackmail. And I forget the other word that we used for that.
Not espionage, but extortion.
Extortion. Yeah. And so we're finding the dirty things that Epstein would have on these people
And
to extort
apparently
them.
wouldn't hesitate to bring up.
Yeah.
Where were we? Sarah Ferguson, former Duchess of Wales.
Yes.
Disgraced Prince Andrew's husband.
Yeah.
Wife. Loved Epstein, was blowing up his email with praise and wanted to get together. He had helped her out in one of her charities or something, her foundations or whatever those people do. But then she turns on him. She gets mad because she can't get a hold of him, and she feels like he used her to get to Andrew, which is true. But then in 2011, Sarah Ferguson, former Duchess of Wales, of York, former Duchess of York. I hate the English. If there's one group that I have just no hesitation to just complain about, I don't feel unjustly prejudiced in any way. When I say this is America, Jack.
That's America.
I just don't really enjoy the English. I don't. Some of the literature is good because I can read it in my own voice. I don't have to listen to them.
Oh my God.
But that's about as far as it gets. See, I couldn't say that about Puerto Ricans. I couldn't say that
No.
about Dominicans. But about the English, this
feel
is all
like
their
you
fault.
can-
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in 2011, Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, congratulates Jeffrey on the birth of a baby boy.
Oh, interesting. And where there's no known children. Known.
Oh, God.
Right?
That's going to be a fucking... There's probably going to be 100 Epstein kids that emerge gradually as they come to maturity.
Oh, no.
We're going to be battling these demons for the rest of our lives.
Well,
Files indicate he could have been eating human meat.
my God.
Credible inferences can be made from the published emails.
It's too much.
That seems very much. He was definitely eating meat. Can I say this? He
Yes.
was definitely eating meat that's probably not legal to eat in normal places.
Sure.
So maybe it's not fucking human. Maybe it's koala bear, but it's freaky.
It's exotic.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. But it is so much. It's like if you
I
think
know
about
I've been
3
depressed.
million, just the release of 3 million documents is like, who has been typing these documents? That's what I wanted to know. Is like who?
Well, part of the reason that could exist is because they've seized his email servers from back then. So each individual email, I think, is one document.
Yeah.
So
I think my favorite that's
and
happened.
there's hundreds of thousands of just emails.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then there's every compiled this is just the stuff they haven't thrown away or destroyed or capped off the record.
Yeah.
Right. Which is also
How big, if we put that 3 million files onto 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, how would it fill this basement, do you think? Or would it fill like a corner of the room?
3 million
like-
3 million pieces of paper? Absolutely.
A corner of the room?
I know most of the room.
Most of the room?
Yeah, I don't even necessarily know that it would all exist on paper because even the unredacted quote unquote version, which is really not truly unredacted, and then they had to force them to unredact stuff in real time. 6 names came out of confirmed co-conspirators, people that the FBI knew were co-conspirators, and the Congress people in the skiff had to implore them to please unredact these names right now while we're here. And Les Waxner ended up being one of those names.
Yeah.
Who, the former CEO and founder of Victoria's Secret.
Oh, is that who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He has a very interesting story, and he openly admits that he believes he is accompanied at all times by an ancient Hebrew demon
What?
called a Dybbuk. This is all in Whitney Webb's book. There's 2 volumes. One Nation Under Blackmail, I think. And we did a whole episode on it.
Yes, yeah, it's coming back to me.
But so, and everyone has always talked about that's where Jeffrey got a lot of his money, was from this guy. This guy turned his family's clothing business like literally almost 100 years ago, into the Limited, and then that series of brands that came out of that. But just innovation in that market at that time.
There's a song called Victoria's Secret by the artist Jax, that the lyrics on it are about how it's actually like a guy from Ohio or something, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, and that's been the big talk of that. He owns the largest estate in all of Ohio.
Yeah.
In one of the suburbs of, I guess, Columbus?
Yeah, I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude. And
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah. Well, and that was his innovation, was the choice you had to make in like the 40s or whatever. His parents, were running this clothing store. Was, do you stock everything so you don't turn away any business because everyone can find what they're looking for? Or his real innovation was, what if you just stock a few price points of things and you tell people that, hey, this is the thing you want. I can't keep this on the shelves.
Yeah.
It's, you curate the taste for them. And that's where all those brands kind of grew from, was that moment.
Sure.
I listened to volume 2 of her book like 4 times already. It's because it's so detailed. Whitney Webb is an absolute genius. She's an autistic journalist living in exile. And I think she lives in Chile most of the year. But now Congress has officially, for the record, discovered Leslie Wexner as a confirmed co-conspirator and has never been prosecuted for anything, and probably murdered his lawyer in the 80s. And probably somehow the original incident report from the sheriff's office for that incident went missing when people went back to look for it. I mean, the whole story is crazy. And it's actually, this is the thing that's really upsetting, is Epstein's not even that big of a deal on his own. You know what I mean? He's just a contact point for a spiral that goes through all sorts of circles of power and influence and all down into history. I mean, Whitney's book tracks this phenomenon and this specific cyclone of power and influence back to like the 20s. And then later, the union, I guess, or collaboration of organized crime and organizations like the CIA and the NSA. The NSA existed for like 30 years before people even really knew that it was a real thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of a rumor. It was like not a publicized thing. That all started in 1947. But so the sickness is deep, is what Eddie Murphy would say in Bowfinger. He would say the sickness is deep. See,
it's so deep. It's too deep.
It's way too deep. Let's see. So he may have children, and he may actually have been cloning children, and he may have dozens of children that we don't know about. There's things I really don't even want to talk about, but there's also been witness testimony of a developmentally disabled girl who was held captive by them for some time, and got pregnant like several times while she was captive to them. And there's a lot of details about this on, if you really want to go down the rabbit hole on YouTube or Reddit or something. A lot of it's too upsetting for me to even imagine, but it's also in the public record now, and the fight seems to be working to win more and more of it to be released. But Trump's case certainly gets worse. The FBI compiled over a dozen tips alleging abuse by Trump with Epstein. There's a Tiffany Doe, I believe, maybe the girl I was just talking about. Katie Johnson was one of the more recent accusers, who's, her full testimony, I believe, came out in the files. There's reference to Trump threatening for someone to be turned into fertilizer on the back nine in Rancho Palos Verdes.
What?
literally a victim reported to law enforcement that Trump threatened to turn her into fertilizer for the back nine on his golf course.
And that seems plausible. I could certainly hear him say that with all of the shit that we hear him say today.
Absolutely. I shared something today. It was somebody doing their Trump impression, but in German, and it sounds like Jabba the Hutt.
That's funny.
It's really good.
Yeah. I see it. I just, what is the most frustrating part is how many people are still at, I don't know, like
they're all
defending at large, but like just people like supporting or like not, at least not saying like, hey, this is pretty shitty, but like,
no, I
guess what I'm trying to say is that I hate that people don't see all of this evidence and don't change.
People won't believe any of it until, somebody is actually in jail. Until they see somebody in
jail, or it happens directly to them. Like until they are directly affected.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting.
It's crazy. And part of Pam Bondi's poor defense yesterday was that if we indicted everybody who's incriminated in the Epstein files, the system would collapse.
Yeah.
And so,
and that should be a problem. That should be like, okay, what the fuck?
Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like, okay, now let's look at that. You're trying to make an excuse to like not go into it, but like think of the excuse you just used. What do you mean it's going to collapse?
And what is that? I mean, and how would she know that? She's from Florida. She wouldn't know a collapsing
system
of it if she lived in it.
Was she not the
well, here's the thing. I would believe at this point, yes, she was the Attorney General of Florida, I believe, when Epstein got his sweetheart deal.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I read that. I didn't write that down because I didn't make notes about her yet because her trial was just yesterday. Her thing in front of Congress, her testimony.
Yeah.
Her, but the Dow is above 50.
50,000 people.
The S&P was above 7,000, I believe.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means, but she said that in response to a question that was not about that several times.
Yeah.
Files confirm authenticity of tip that Epstein was moved before allegedly found dead. At one point, there was a 4chan post from somebody that claimed to be working in the prison and said that they felt like Epstein was being moved outside of normal movement hours at the prison, just hours before he was then apparently found dead.
Mm-hmm.
It was then confirmed by the FBI and then later released in these files that the original poster of that on 4chan was confirmed to be an employee of the prison at the time.
And you're saying apparently dead because of the apparent sightings of Epstein in Israel.
And so now we have at least really good AI photos where he's doing like the Brad Pitt thing. His hair is like longer than it ever was, and he wears a beard now, which he never did before. Really cool aviators, and they say he's in Tel Aviv, heavily guarded.
Yeah.
And
which is like the worst disguise ever.
But also, that even doesn't matter because we still haven't made sense of, the 30 years of criminal abuse that was happening and that, has, as of yet, has not been prosecuted at all.
Yeah.
They had what's her name? Maxwell.
Ghislaine
did a deposition in the last week and pled the fifth the whole time. Didn't give up anything. Claims she could clear Donald Trump and Bill Clinton for clemency.
And then I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
What
Clear?
do you mean?
That sounds like the opposite of what you'll do. And we just know we can't trust her because she's been found guilty of perjury multiple times.
Yeah.
So,
does anybody not see that? Does anybody not look at the big picture of
Guys,
what do you have amnesia? Have you forgotten what that means to be perjurous? Is that a word?
Yeah.
What the
Perjessive.
Perjessive.
That can't be it.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that it's not alarming a certain percentage of the population.
Epstein also frequently used the N-word in his emails.
God.
Not great. Not a good look. And It's pointed out.
Has there ever been a bigger supervillain than Epstein in American history?
I don't know. I mean, Diddy shot people.
Sure.
He shot that one lady in the face kind of on accident.
Yeah.
And got away with it.
And then he physically assaulted. Come back to me, name.
You don't have to pick a name because it was all of them.
Yeah.
Anyone he dated or spent significant amounts of time with in that time he did something fucked up to.
Yeah.
So, but he beat one of them up on camera in the hotel hallway with just a towel on.
Yeah.
And, he's just deeply sick man.
Sick.
But he's incarcerated.
Say who's incarcerated?
Diddy.
Yes, he is. He's probably like super happy that all of the shit is like all the heat's off of him.
Some people are saying, he's got to be. He's fine.
Yeah,
he's like, whoo, not a moment too soon, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
god damn.
But he needs that attention too.
I didn't know y'all were eating people.
Yeah.
People are gonna look at P. Diddy's baby oil and laugh.
Yeah,
it's softer than like R. Kelly even now, up against what I've been reading this week.
Yeah,
and it's getting in bigger and bigger channels. I mean, it's because it's such a the internet sleuth community is such a part of what informs the media now.
Yeah,
of interest at least. Melania was obviously very friendly with Ghislaine. It's confirmed in these files.
Yeah,
and those came out the same day her movie came out. And we didn't even go see it.
I mean, how could we? Weren't we snowed in?
But the movie kind of reveals that she kind of lives in New York full time. She's not with him very often. And like the day that the election results came out and we found out he had won his second term, he calls her this is in the movie and says, and she says, "Congratulations, Mr. President." And he says, "Did you watch it?" And she says, "No, I will see it on the news." That's like in the trailer. And meanwhile, she's dressed like a really really cunty
widow,
but like a drag interpretation of the Hamburglar.
Yes,
like if you were serving body. But as the Hamburglar, that's kind of what her hats are giving.
Her hats. It had just came to me.
I want to see a Jeepers Creepers reboot, and I want her to be the demon with those hats.
She looks solemn, like she looks with the way that she wears, like hat down, her head down, like sort of eyes up. It's kind of the picture in my head of Melania, like. But what I really spend.
What I really want
is for. What I really think about is also how, we're just gonna say like MAGA tries to inflate numbers of things that are obviously like not happening.
That's the problem too. It's almost like all of this was done on purpose. It's like he started fake news at the same time that he was running for the first time, and I would totally believe if all of this shit is true. He's mentioned in the files already, unredacted more than Jesus in the Bible.
Yeah.
Which is actually not that crazy because the Bible is much more well written. And so you don't keep saying the main character's name over and over again. It gets ridiculous. You got to throw in some alternatives. So he's mentioned more in the Epstein files. Donald Trump has mentioned more in the Epstein files than Harry Potter is in all 7 books put together.
Are you serious?
Yeah, a congressperson said that to Pam Bondi yesterday.
That's really funny.
Donald Trump is mentioned more in the Epstein files than Harry Potter is mentioned in all 7 books put together.
Holy shit.
And people did that math already by now. I think that's totally legit.
That's so
I'll stand by that
funny.
number. And so, which also, I mean, what does that really mean? It just means for certain that he was really, really good friends with a known criminal for a really long time, which is not a good look, but in a movie, you wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah.
So that's, even if he didn't participate in things that are illegal, it just seems unlikely. I don't know when they would have time. There's so much illegal behavior in the files already that we can see, not to mention the stuff that's redacted.
But that's not
how would Jeffrey Epstein have time to not commit crime enough to have a relationship with Donald Trump as close as they were for so long?
Yeah. Even if that's the case, people do not feel like that is enough to condemn that action.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not going to take something
Because he's already convicted.
Because here's the thing, because
He's
Pam
already-
Bondi's testimony in front of the Senate was much less productive than the bullshit we got yesterday.
Yeah.
At least yesterday, they were prepared for how ridiculous she was going to be, and they submitted a lot of stuff to the record without objection that was damning to certainly her case. I don't know what they do in her situation. I don't know if he has to get rid of her, or because I don't know how they would make him, because nobody's going to take Congress as seriously as they take the Senate. And is the Senate too compromised to
I wish
make
he
a
was
move there?
I just wish he was rolling through people like he was back in 2016.
That's the thing. These people now stick around too long.
They stick around too long.
His first term, his administration, his cabinet, his staff was like the show Supernatural, like the first couple seasons where it's just a monster of the week.
Yeah.
It was just Scooby-Doo. Who's our new press person? Next week we're going to get a new this.
He has found, he was like, this time around,
He's
he
doubling
learned.
down on the blondes.
He learned.
He said, I like blondes. I can't stress blonde enough.
Yeah. And they have the attitude of a fucking viper that will
Give me your meanest blondes.
give me, Lord.
Give me
send
your craziest blondes.
Not Lord, devil.
Yeah.
Satan, please.
Dear baby Satan, can I please have at least 2, maybe 6 of your most venomous blondes? Please. Please, Satan. Hail Satan.
And I don't get it.
I don't get it. It's insanity. And he literally, his second cabinet looks like Fox News, like their lineup from 2016. Some of them were on that lineup in 2016.
Yeah.
And
This is really good. It's going to change the course of history in the sense that we have seen our democracy be stretched as far as it can possibly
what I
gape.
think that's been his project, is to see how far he can stretch it.
And it's being tested.
It's definitely because it's set up in a way where it's really hard to challenge the behavior. Like he's going to have to be like physically removed from the office at some point, whether it's the end of his term and he doesn't want to leave, or it's they 25th Amendment him, or whatever. But like, it's at this point, and nobody's going to believe that any of it's real until that happens. Like the people that are still on the train and still are like, whatever, he's my president, I'm not going to listen to all this liberal hoax. Those people are going to have to watch him be like drug out.
Yeah.
Before they believe that it's over.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like I want somebody to do anything. I mean, I'm just saying that that's going to be the natural end of that kind of cling to power. I worry about his health. He's too old. And obviously not in as good a shape as his doctors tell the public he is. But that's none of my business, really. I don't really like to obsess over other people's, physical body very much. But I mean, there's like, I guess it's wishful thinking of the people that would wish for this. That people reporting all the time, oh, I'm a doctor, he's got like 6 weeks left to live. Like they're on YouTube, like doing all the podcast rounds and stuff. Like, yeah, I don't think he makes it another 4 months. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like that would usher in, a certain upset and chaos. I feel like that'd be traumatic for the nation. I don't want him to die in office necessarily. Yeah, that be inappropriate. But it's. Can I say something?
Yeah.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. It's gonna take a big bulldozer to get this cleared out. I mean, fuck.
Some of it I don't even want to talk about because it's. I mean,
it's too much.
It's hard to know, and it's hard to know.
And
we
haven't even talked about the halftime
files
show
are so
yet.
expansive.
We have to get to the halftime show. We got
time. We got time.
We're at 50 minutes.
There's even more stuff that, I mean, at this point you can't tell what's in the files and what's not in the files because you have to go find it yourself. People are just, because now you can make a video and say, I saw this in the files, and it means this and whatever. But that's more people watched us talk about Corey Feldman than people who bought pre-sale tickets for Melania.
No.
Yes.
Leading
up to the premiere, only 1 ticket had sold across all of the UK.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that's so unbelievable. Like, of data that like literally 1. But like it's a testament to how much you said in England.
That was in the UK.
In the UK, that how much they dislike the administration over here.
And now the Epstein files has sent them into chaos because one of their prime minister people, whatever they call him over there, I don't like England.
Yeah.
Is all in the files, like in pictures of him in his underwear and shit. And none of that rose a flag to the leader of whatever.
Yeah.
And so there, people are diving out of office and people are like challenging, like the whole government is in chaos this week in the UK over this. Savannah Guthrie's mother is still missing.
That is really, really sad.
Really upsetting.
Yeah.
And they released door cam footage of the alleged suspect who was wearing like a ski mask and like seemed kind of dumb, but also no leads.
Yeah. Absolutely tragic.
I just pray to God they find her alive.
Yeah.
But I mean, who knows if any of those ransom notes are real?
Yeah.
TMZ's been getting notes from all
really?
kinds. Yeah, TMZ. It's hard. They send them right to the FBI, but they don't know. It's impossible to know. I mean, we don't know if any of the confirmation or communication is the word. Let's take that again. We don't know if any of the communication is legit or not.
Yeah.
So, and it's unclear the motive because she's not like a powerful person. It just seems so upsetting.
Yeah.
The halftime show.
Yeah.
This is upsetting because sometimes there's alternatives to the halftime show. Like sometimes SNL a couple of years did their own halftime show where they said, if you don't want to watch the halftime show, come on over to SNL. And they would have like a 15-minute thing that they would run and then you could go back to the game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I remember that when Tina Fey and Jimmy Fallon were doing Weekend Update together. They did that one year. And I definitely watched that.
Yeah.
But this year, this may have happened anyway because of the momentum behind TPUSA right now.
Yeah.
But TPUSA, perhaps in response to the Puerto Rican a Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter Bad Bunny headlining the halftime show, decided to pre-record and then poorly edit their own alternative halftime show starring Kid Rock and a bunch of country people named like Dirk McGurk and shit.
Yeah.
And
see, this is what happens when shitty people have too much money and time on their hands.
yeah.
It's
Who?
nobody.
That's your headliner? Is Kid Rock?
Kid Rock. That's who you have. That's who you have.
He's the headliner.
Oh, they do have Nicki Minaj now. Why wasn't Nicki there?
That's what a lot of people were saying. There's like, you know what would have saved the TPUSA
Is Nicki.
halftime show is like halfway through Kid Rock's set, bring Nicki out.
Absolutely.
And then have Kid Rock and his band do a hybrid thing with a popular one Nicki song. Would have saved it. One Nicki outfit. Nicki could have just walked out.
This is what happens when you listen to a small section of the population that is MAGA. You get below quality entertainment.
Now,
and
I don't want to sound like a liberal cuck.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed the Bad Bunny halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great how they transformed the field into I guess that was sugarcane.
Yeah.
Which I guess grows like that in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And he created like a little bodega, and there was like a little, like he got a snow cone from a guy.
Yeah.
And then apparently an OnlyFans model got married.
It was an OnlyFans model?
I think that's what I read.
Oh, but a couple got married.
There was a couple that got married. She may or may not have an OF.
Yeah.
Drop the link.
There was a nail salon.
A little nail tech station happening. They played a little bit of Daddy Yankee. Is that what that was?
I'm not sure.
The Gasolina? Or is that Sean Paul?
Is that Daddy Yankee?
Yeah, I think they just played a sample of it while they did a costume change. Yeah. Because I was like, that one was really familiar. And that makes sense. But yeah, I thought it was great. I really liked like the costuming and Lady Gaga coming out. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Lady Gaga actually sounded great. She's done the halftime show before.
I will say it was a interesting choice.
Oh, but you know where my soul almost jumped out of my body and I almost didn't come back
when
to
Ricky
reality.
Martin came out?
Ricky Titty fucking Martin.
Yeah.
When Ricky Martin, I seriously squealed out loud. I said, it's Ricky Martin.
Yes.
And
I was like, Ricky Martin
looked better than he's ever looked.
Uh-huh.
Sounded beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't speak very good Spanish, so I enjoy it musically.
Yeah.
I love when we go to a Mexican restaurant and they have like that sad Mexican music blasting.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful. And part of it is like, it's almost like instrumental music because you're not keeping up with the words.
Yeah.
You're just enjoying how it sounds. So I already have that in me. So,
all up in me.
but, you know, even I think my own father put on Facebook, this is the dumbest halftime show I've ever seen. I'm like,
Yeah,
great.
I loved all the people saying, I'm not going to watch
America?
it. I loved all the people saying, I'm not going to watch it. Also say, dumbest halftime show I've ever seen.
Oh, and one Mongoloid
Love
told
it.
me today they're gonna. He said they're gonna throw Bad Bunny in jail because it was too sexual for the children on the
Whatever.
TV.
Whatever.
I said, wow,
Suck my fucking butthole.
what is going on?
I don't even fucking care.
But Ricky Martin gave me life, and then the obvious meme from that I've seen since then is if you immediately recognize Ricky Martin, it's time for a colonoscopy.
yeah.
And I just turned 35.
yeah.
So
I've already had my first.
if the last thing I ever did was I was playing Catan with my family while watching the game, and up until the halftime show, I think we turned it off after the halftime show because it was so clear the outcome. It was not a good sporting match.
Yeah.
Sadly, for the Patriots, but I do enjoy a Seahawk, and it's but their quarterback was too young.
Was it?
Their starting
Was he?
quarterback is 23, and so I'm looking
What
at
what was the starting quarterback of the Patriots?
I don't give a fuck.
He looked young as well. It looked
Yeah,
like
they all look too young now.
Yeah.
They all look too young. And then I see Ricky Martin, and kids on Instagram are saying, if you knew who Ricky Martin was, you got to get a colonoscopy. And the kids are,
Yeah.
kids are, I mean, that's a noticeable break now.
Yeah.
They could have, if I was a real monster, they could have been my children. If I had a kid at 13, that kid could now be the starting quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but having a kid at 13 is
No,
like crazy.
I mean, how is he going to have a good football career
you want, yeah.
with a
You have to give him a
unmarried
scholarship.
13-year-old father? I don't know. I was
Yeah.
probably in a good neighborhood for that.
Yeah.
We could have gone to school together, rode the same bus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fuck, I had something and I lost it. Oh, can we talk about a couple Super Bowl commercials? Did you watch any?
A lot of them, yeah.
The one I want to talk about is the Maha one, because the Make America
Yeah.
Healthy Again, because we talked about the food pyramid.
Yeah, their
and
new food pyramid.
Their nude
The
their-
nude pyramid.
The nude pyramid.
Did you see him say apparently on Theo Vaughn's podcast? just
Yes, we got-
yesterday?
yes.
He said, "Well, I'm not really afraid of germs. I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats."
Yes.
So I'm just grateful to God for the humor of this timeline, and just the shocking, unpredictable blessings of comedy. Dear Jesus, thank
Yeah.
you again.
Where do I start? Okay, let's go back to the Super Bowl commercial. It was about 5 seconds in, I was like, what is Mike Tyson doing talking on my TV?
Oh, that's the thing. He's doing stuff with them now.
Yeah. And then he's talking about this story about his sister who was fat, his words, and ate a lot of processed food.
I can't even do a Mike Tyson.
I'm not even going to try. We can't. But you have to look it up if you haven't seen it. Yeah.
My sister was fat.
Yeah, and then he'd say that he was like 300 and something pounds, and I'm like, I don't ever remember like an obese Mike Tyson. I remember like a buff fucking cut.
He could have been. He wasn't he locked up for a couple of years. Some
I'm not
people
sure.
get fat in jail.
Sure, but that's jail food. You're not like.
I don't know that
eating,
Mike Tyson went to jail after.
and he's like eating a fucking apple or some shit, and so it's
yeah.
just it's about eating real food and
eat real food. My sister was fat.
yeah.
And I punch her in the face. I said, "Why are you so fat? Eat an apple."
That's why I eat an apple every
And
day.
then isn't there a picture of RFK with the Mike Tyson tattoo drawn on his face?
I haven't seen that.
I think it came out with that
that's funny.
ad or whatever. So eat real food, guys. Have a ribeye 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And you can have yogurt. You can have apple cider vinegar, and have eggs and guacamole on a wood cutting board. And you'll be good. Your inflammation will go down.
Yeah.
You'll poop weird for a while. First couple weeks is a transition.
One of the weirdest commercials was the Dunkin' one with Ben Affleck and all of the 90s stars.
Yeah. He loves that Dunkin'.
loves that Duncan. Duncan loves him.
They really
Duncan
like him.
loves him. And the what would you call that? Like the graphics of the way that they photoshopped.
Oh, they
or,
made him.
like,
They made him look younger.
Yeah. That was like so creepy.
That's demonology.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
No, you
In
can't.
the house of the Lord.
No,
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see you look. I hate when Robert De Niro does that for these movies he's still doing because he
Yeah.
keeps having children, so he has to keep working. He's
Yeah.
going to work till he's dead. And
Yeah.
he's got like a 2-year-old. Like his kids
Yes.
are going to grow up with my kids.
Yes.
But they're in Tribeca, and
And
we're going
that's
to be here.
that's how you end up with somebody's the last grandson of like the Civil War dying.
Can I say this?
No, it was like. Never mind. Go ahead.
I don't think Dick Cheney deserved a heart. He
No.
was retired.
No. Yeah.
We're giving hearts to retired war criminals?
I guess so. If you got the connections, if you got the extortion.
And I know that it's not every heart is a perfect fit for everybody that needs one, right? There's matches you got to make or whatever, but I'm sure somebody who didn't make billions of dollars off of killing hundreds of thousands of, can I say Arabs?
I'm not sure, but that's in review. Go ahead.
The victims of Dick Cheney would not want Dick Cheney to get that new heart, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
And so at some point, you got to let him go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stevie Wonder got a kidney, but Stevie Wonder
Is a national
so
treasure.
few allegations of war crimes. So few.
So few.
I can't think of one as how few they are.
Yeah.
Which means there may not be any. But I can't say that definitively for the record this close to the end of the episode.
You know, I think we're just having a case of the tomatoes.
It's a real tomato
It's
kind
a
of
real
economy right now.
tomato.
And that's the thing is because people say apples and oranges, but my thing is people don't understand because this is in the files. Tomatoes and tomatoes are different things,
Yes.
and they don't want you to know
No.
because then we'll rise up and we'll take which one do you think is better? If I sit on a shelf, there's two different things. Maybe they even look really similar, but
Yeah.
one's a tomato and one's a tomato.
Yeah.
Which way are you breaking on that? I might go tomato.
Oh, you're gonna go tomato? I was gonna go tomato.
You were gonna go tomato?
Tomato.
That's because you have that like lower class thing in your genes where you're like, I deserve Hunt's brand ketchup.
Yeah.
If you have
Yeah.
Hunt's in the fridge, you're grateful.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's okay. Me,
Yeah.
I'm trans class. I've been trying to fight my way up this whole time.
Okay.
I saw Ina Garten and her husband Jeffrey on TV.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to fucking garden and make blue crab for lunch.
Yeah. I mean, you should make your own ketchup, but store bought is just fine.
You can make your own ketchup, and when we're on like a paleo or a keto thing, my wife has one that's compatible.
Oh.
That she makes that's lovely.
Yeah. What does it have to
Keto
be?
ketchup.
Yeah. Keto. What's keto about that? Is it because there's no sugar?
There's certainly no added sugar.
No added sugar. Yeah.
But I don't know if she makes it from tomato paste. Like, would tomato paste be
Oh,
keto?
yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Possibly.
remember.
I mean,
Next week on Jacob V Weekly,
Yeah.
is it tomato? Is it tomato? If there was a difference, would you give a shit?